Growing up, I'm unsure about the meaning of free mixing and its concept as a Muslim. Starting from high school till university, I have a few male classmates and I do save their phone numbers because I think of them as a quote-unquote my male friends. The concept of male and female friends feel the same for me back then. I do not know that we should not be having general talks or joking around with them, the non-mahram. I just understood that we should not be touching the non-mahram, and that's all. Once I started Discord, I joined a few Muslim community servers with a mix of male and female members, to which most of these servers did not even apply the concept of no free mixing is allowed. Later on, after joining these free mixing servers, I realized how much it is important to understand free mixing and its guidelines in Islam. So I decided to stop talking with non-mahram men outside of necessities and delete all their phone numbers. One thing that makes me question when I'm on these servers is why there is no haya.
One of the wisest statements that have been inherited from the previous prophets was that if you're not shy, do what you wish. Akhi, shyness is a component, it is the thing, male or female. If you lose haya, shyness, wallahi there is no difference between you and the an'am, the cattle and the animals. There's nothing different between you and the animals. Shyness is what leaves and allows you to hold back some morality.
Between non-mahram talking about marriage, talking about their favorite foods, favorite beverages, joking around, talking about how their day's going, etc., etc. Is there any haya in this conversation between the non-mahram? At first, my eyes went blind. It's a thing that everyone does, so it's not wrong as long as it's not an inappropriate topic to talk about with them, the non-mahram. That was my false mindset back then. But when these things keep on going, I ended up pushing a brake and decided to rethink everything. Let's take a look at Surah Al-Isra, verse number 32. Do not go near adultery. It is truly a shameful deed and an evil way. If we take a look at Tafsir Ibn Kathir over this verse, it says, this verse is about the command to avoid zina, which is unlawful, and everything that leads to it. Allah says, forbidding His servants to commit zina or to approach it or to do anything that may lead to it. So I wanted to highlight the part approaching zina and may lead to it. After some time, I realized that saving male contact numbers and being on the Discord servers that have free mixing of male and female may lead to zina. Because talking with the opposite gender for no reason, whether in DMs or group chats or servers, have very huge negative effects. Okay, stop. This is such a big claim. You cannot just say stuff like this without evidence. Well, the evidence is clear. I just give one piece of evidence just now, which is Surah Al-Isra, verse 32. Salama, may Allah be pleased with her, said that after Allah Messenger Sallallahu Alaihi Wasallam said, Assalamu alaikum wa rahmatullah twice, announcing the end of the prayer, woman would stand up and leave. He would stay for a while before leaving. Ibn Shihab said that he thought that the staying of the Prophet, may peace and blessing be upon him, was for the woman to be able to leave before the man who wanted to depart. Narrated by Al-Bukhari, number 793. This indicates that the Prophet ﷺ imposed a separation of man and woman even at the masjid. So from this hadith, if a man and a woman cannot meet each other directly in the masjid, how come talking or chatting with men unless for necessities will be fine? A study at the Department of Psychology of the Norwegian University of Science and Technology (NTNU) shows that women reported that men often misinterpret their signals of friendliness as intimate interest. Conversely, the men in the study reported that women often misinterpret their signals of intimate interest as friendliness. From personal experiences in my real life and even in my online life, I have witnessed many men having a crush on their quote-unquote female friends. This could happen to women too, having a crush on their male quote-unquote friends, especially online where it's easy to communicate with the non-mahram, which is through chatting or voice calls, but chatting is more often done. Whether it's in direct messages or open play settings like a group chat or Discord server, having general or casual talk with the opposite genders seems normal in Muslim society today, when the reality is shaitan will always be in between. What shaitan wants is to meddling our emotions around when talking with the non-mahram and try succeeding in making us fall deeply into this hole of I like you too, let's date each other, or let's get married, with fake hope and promises when both parties are not capable for marriage. What happened next? Both the male and female involved in this situation would be blindly in love. Well, it's not that correct to call it love because it falls under the category of lust. In my dictionary, I would call blindly in love as a mental illness, because the escaping light from this darkness of blindly in love is so small, since I saw many people who stayed in the haram relationship even if they knew it is haram and what they are doing will result in sins. Why? Because it's a mental illness, because it had caused addiction. If someone is addicted to something, they will be blind to see which one is the truth and which one is not, even if it's harming them. That's not all. There's a lot to list down on the negative effects when non-mahram is having a regular conversation with each other. The first one is, as mentioned above, where it can cause intimate relationships to develop outside of marriage. Next, gossip and slander might occur and it can destroy relationships and families. Okay, so now imagine a marriage where the husband or the wives have lots of opposite gender friends. People in the surrounding will start gossiping and even worse, slandering, which will end up resulting in shaky marriage life. Also, one party falling in love or having a crush and being hurt might also happen. Just now we talked about a mutual romantic feeling of people who are not capable of marriage and it's resulted in blindly in love, which could lead to zina. Now if a male or female has a crush on the opposite gender quote-unquote friend, it will also cause heartbreak, especially after getting rejected. When the heart has broken, the eyes, ears and mind also went blind. A question that I will commonly ask is, how many times do you remember your crush and how many times do you remember of what? Especially after a heartbreak, the mind is full of the non-mahram that we have a crush on. Where did this whole concept of having a crush and thinking about the crush all the time like crazy start? It starts when someone keeps on talking to the non-mahram out of necessity. Obviously, if you never talk or go hoo-hoo ha-ha with this person, shaitan will not be messing around with your emotions. So it's not just me blurting this out of nowhere. There are clear stretches of evidence regarding how non-mahram should not be freely or comfortably talking with each other through the Quran and Hadith. And it's also being supported by the past study as mentioned before. To conclude, I would rather stay in a safe zone than me risking myself by getting involved with the non-mahram with the potential of getting slandered, in need to be dealing with unnecessary feelings potentially caused by shaitan whispers, etc, etc. Besides, both male and females think differently. So there are a lot of negative effects coming from this. Everything started with you to decide whether to cut the conversation with the non-mahram or not. If you want to be on the safe zone, stop doing free mixing. But if you decided to stay on the cliff of falling into zina, well, I don't know. It's your choice if you wanted to indulge yourself in this harmful circle.